another awesome time. And I trust that as you join us, you will surely be impacted. Now, if you know anyone that should be part of this or that has signed up and is not yet here, please reach out to them to be here so that they don't miss out of where's that coming up from? Okay, we're good. So that they don't miss out of the class today. So we're about starting. Our facilitator is here. On Friday, we started with our orientation. We had you understand some of the things we are going to be covering. We're going to be doing graphic designing, website designing, audio editing, video editing, and video animation, explainer videos. On Friday, we started out with our introduction to graphics, where we also did some few practical hands-on training. So today, we are going to continue the graphic class. And then after that, we're going to be having our audio recording and audio editing class. So you don't want to miss any of that audio recording and audio editing class immediately today after our first class. So I want you to brace up, get your laptop ready. If you are using a mobile device, get it connected, get set for this wonderful class this afternoon. And I promise this to be, life impactful. Please ensure that you are taking notes. If you have questions, you can just raise up your hand or type it in the chat box, or preferably you can wait till your the facilitator or instructor request for questions so that we avoid a lot of distractions. So thank you so much. I'm going to bring up our facilitator today, and I want you to join me and welcome Aderonke as she takes on the continuation of the graphic class, and it's going to be wonderful. Aderonke, I believe you are set and you are here.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you can have the stage.
Okay, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, good day. We are back again for our second graphic design class, and I know a lot of people are not yet here, but we are hoping they'll join us soon. We had a little bit of a take home kind of assignment, some work, something to do, and we got a lot of emails. So if you were here last week, can you type in the chat box and say yes, you were here for the first class, so we can know how many people were here last time? Okay. All right, so I'm going to start sharing my screen now, and then we would start going through everybody's work and kind of see what everybody has done and kind of grade ourselves a little bit. I'm going to do that right now. Okay. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Feel free to just type in the chat box yes or no.
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm going to open up what we worked on last week, and then we'll look at everybody's work, and we are going to unmute ourselves and say and give our feedback. Okay, so this is what we worked on last week. I'm sure we all remember. This is what we worked on last week, and we're going to start with Paul Ogunfolu. Sorry if I'm not saying that right. Okay, so this is what Mr. Paul worked on. Can everybody see this? Can everybody see this? Yes, okay.
Yes,
so this is what Mr. Paul worked on last week on our assignment. So let us unmute ourselves and give feedback. Let's unmute ourselves and give feedback. Okay. Is he here? Mr. Paul, are you here? Yes, okay. Please unmute yourselves. Let's give feedback. What do you think? Do you think that Mr. Paul did followed all the rules of graphic design here? Do you think that this particular graphic is legible? Shall the text? Is the text legible enough? I need some feedback, oh please. Oh, this is an interactive class. Very nice. Okay.
This is Bernita. I'll give a feedback.
Okay.
Based on the pictures and everything looks nice. It's clean, it's clear. But the first thing that stands out to me is shop now. But before you said you wanted to see the big 50% sale. That
Yes.
should have been the biggest one, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, apart from that, everything else looks nice and clean. And
okay.
But the shop now could have been a bit smaller.
Yeah, okay. That's a good observation. Does somebody else have anything to say before I talk about this? Yes. Okay. So first of all, like as she just said, like the shop now is a little bit too big. We can't see the 50% off. We don't understand what we are shopping for. We can tell that it's shoes, but we don't. The sale is not big enough. The 50% is not big enough. Also, the background is pretty busy for the text over it. So when we have a background that is this busy, we want our text to be bolder. We want the color to be bolder. Okay, all right, so moving on. We are going to see, somebody shared something with me. Let's see that. Okay, so I don't know whose work this is. I think this is Mrs. Ogundia. So does somebody have any feedback? What do you think? Or should I just go ahead and give okay, Oyin, this is Oyin's work. Okay, good. So looking at Oyin's work first, the photo is good. The colors match with the photos. So our colors are not clashing, right? But the only thing is that this graphic feels unbalanced. Why? Because we have so much space in here. We have too much space in here and all the other texts are just mushed together. So it feels unbalanced. So the takeaway from this is that the graphic is unbalanced. We need to work with white space better. We need to align our text better. But every other thing looks good. The shop now is a little bit too big though. And our 50% off is quite legible, but it could be bigger because the summer sale is bigger. But then again, the main thing here is that the graphic is a little unbalanced. Okay, let's see. Biodun Shom. Okay, this is not. This is from Mrs. Ogundia. So first of all, you are here, Ma, right?
Yes.
So first of all, this graphic this elements throws off the balance of the entire graphic. You could have made this smaller, maybe, and bring it a little bit to the side. Or we could have made it, yeah, the color scheme is really pretty. I like the color scheme, but this graphic, everything feels very unbalanced. So I feel like we are all getting the color scheme and everything, but what we need to work on is balancing our graphic so it doesn't look amateurish, so it looks professional. And this text the color is not very easy to see from afar on this background. And the alignment of the text is just unbalanced from everything. So maybe the more you practice, the better you can train your eyes to notice when a graphic is balanced and unbalanced. But the color is perfect. The 50% off is very obvious and everything. Good job. Okay, so we have another one from Mr. Victor. Now this one is a really nice graphic. The fonts are nice. Everything looks nice. I really can't think of anything to say in this, but the only thing I can say is that on our photo here, it's hard to tell that we are selling shoes. Is the sale for the shoes, or well, next time we could have used a different picture, a better picture that will communicate what we are trying to sell a little bit better. but everything looks good. The font pairings are perfect. The colors are great. I don't want us to waste too much time. Okay, we have another one. Let's see. We have another one. Taking a while to come up. Okay, so we have this one. Wild sale up to 50% off, start shopping. Okay, so first of all, these two colors do not complement each other. The balance is great. The balancing of the text and everything is great, but this pink is clashing with this other pink. So we could have used white background for here, for this button, and use the color of start shopping with this one. That would have made the colors a little bit more balanced or made it a little bit more cohesive. But apart from that, the colors are clashing. And also our 50% off is not very bold. 50% is the incentive to buy. But yeah, the sale is big, but we need the 50% off is what will convince me to go into a store when I see 50% off. So that is that. But apart from that, the balancing and alignments, everything looks really good. Yeah, I'm going to check. Mr. Ayodele, I should be able to see yours in the email if you sent it. I'm getting there, sir. Let's see this one. Okay, now this one is nice. Our photo is very good. Okay, Miss Ayodele, sorry about that. Our photo is very good. And the only thing I would say is our 50% text can be bold. If you notice my 50%, our own 50% text here was bold. You can see the thickness of the font is bold. So the 50% here could be bolder. I don't know if you understand, but if you're here, I don't know if you understand, but everybody else can benefit from this too. And also this buy one gets 150% off. It throws off the alignment of our text. Most of our text is centered, but this one is just away. So it just throws off the balance. So small things like that can really throw up the balance of your graphic and just make it look like you're not a professional at all. So yeah, but the color looks good. Every other thing looks good. See. Okay, this is another one. I think it's from the same person. Everything looks good so far, but this thing again is that this buy 150% off is not central. So it doesn't align well. But good job. Oh, your brothers. Okay, that's good. But really good job. The colors look good. The 50% is really bold and everything, but you need to work on your alignment. So this is another one. This person sent a picture of theirs. Yard sale for the homeless. Okay, so this looks good. But what I'm going to say is that Canva has a lot of pre-designed elements that you can use. And the more you use those pre-designed elements like this, the more you don't learn how to actually design. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. There's a reason why I wanted us to start with the basics, so that we can actually learn designing, not just copy and pasting or dragging things. If you understand what I'm trying to say, please type yes. So this graphic is good, is nice, but this person used pre-designed templates from Canva. It's good, it's a nice design, everything looks great, but we don't want to use pre-designed graphics because that will not allow us to actually learn how to design. I don't know if that makes sense, but so far it's a good design. Let's see. Okay, this is Mrs. Ajib Ogudiyazon. Yeah, looks good. Actually, me and her worked on this together, so it looks pretty good. Other than our shop now button is not very aligned with the rest of this thing. We could have moved this a little bit to the right so that it would look more aligned. But so far, so good. It looks really nice. See, okay. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we have this one. First of all, our colors are not, I don't know if it was on purpose that to have like this kind of black and white colors and things, but these colors are not very, very, I don't know what the word is now. It's not very obvious. The colors are a little bit dull. Okay. And that can work if you are designing in black and white. Of course, there are some times that you design in black and white. But then again, we could have, if we were using black and white, just black and white, we could have made our colors a little bit more, with more punch, because the gray it looks washed out. So if you print something like this, it will look washed out. The colors won't pop, if you understand what I'm trying to say. And also this circle here throws off our balance in the entire graphic. I understand you're trying to make the 50% more bold, but the circle could have been smaller. Because the picture is like this shape, having a circle is always hard to balance, like circles and squares and everything in one graphic. So it's usually better to go with one, or to go with all circles or all rectangles and things like that. Black and white doesn't look appealing unless you add another. Well, there are some graphics that you can design in just black and white. There are some, black and white is the classic colors for design. So there are sometimes you design in just black and white, but in this case, the black and white colors are not, they don't have enough punch. And when you print this out, it will look washed out. Okay, this is from Mr. Israel. Okay. Okay, Mr. Israel saying this. First of all, the size of the graphic is off. So maybe Mr. Israel couldn't figure out how to change the sizing. But apart from that, shop now, color, there is no red in our entire graphic. So having the red shop now button is just out of place on the graphic. Other than that, our 50% off is bold. Everything looks good. It could have been a little bit more aligned, but this red it feels like it's out of place. So again, all our elements, all our colors, everything has to work together to look like a well done design. Let's see. Okay, we have a few more. Okay, this is well done. It's really well done. I like the idea of the picture, but like right in the center with white across. But the only thing I would change was that the fonts could be smaller. This font could be smaller. This one too could be smaller because it's too close to the edges of our graphic. And if we print out this kind of graphic, it will most likely cut out the top. Because when you're designing for printing, you have to make sure you leave a space. I'm trying to remember what they call it. There's a word I'll remember towards the end of the call. You have to leave a space for the printer. The margins, yes. You have to leave margins so that it will not cut off when you print it. But apart from that, it looks really good. The fonts could be smaller. The alignment is good. Everything looks great. Well done, Mr. or Mrs. Ayodele. It looks really good. Okay, I think this is the same one. Let's see this one. Okay, now this one looks really good. I like the choice of the photo. It looks really nice. But again, our alignment, that's all. It looks great, but we have our shop now buttons to this side. The rest of the fonts could have been at that side because it doesn't look balanced. And also our 50% off is pretty small, but we have our sale big, so that might be enough to grab somebody's attention. And also this color of the sale, I don't see it anywhere else on the photo. So it works here, but sometimes it would have been nice to have like a green because the main color on the picture is green. So if our button was like in green, that would have been nice. But so far, I feel like everybody just needs to work on balancing the alignments and graph and elements and that. So everybody has done a good job so far. I think 2 emails just came in. Let me see. I don't want us to waste too much time. Okay, this is from the video. Those two are from the video. Okay, can somebody tell me what's wrong with this particular graphic? Unmute yourself and let me and say what do you think is wrong with this particular graphic?
The shop now.
Sorry, I can't really hear. What do you say?
Everything's like clashing together.
Yeah, everything is clashing. There is no. Yeah, everything is just.
Now it's covering the pictures, and the picture has some like.
Yeah, it's because he used
on it.
Yes, it's because he used the pictures are not free. Canva has some pictures that are free and some that are not free. So because it's not free, that's why Canva put those lines on it. But apart from the lines, I can't really see anything. Nothing is standing out to me. Once I see this graphic, I don't see a first thing. You know, when you see a graphic, you want to direct the eyes of whoever is looking at it. Like we said, the first thing we wanted them to see was 50% off, then summer sale, then maybe shop now, then later sales end, blah, blah, blah. But again, it's too busy. Somebody said it's too busy. So it will be nice to start from scratch. And the more you work on it, the better you will get. I think we have one more here, then we'll move on to what we have for today. Now, this is a really, really beautiful graphic. I hope you didn't use Canva templates for this. I hope you did this from scratch because this is very, very beautiful. Good job.
I started from a Canvas template, but I kind of
use the Canva templates.
Yeah.
Okay,
kinda.
so it's fine to use Canva templates like when you're designing later. But for this class, we are trying to teach ourselves the basics of design before using templates. Because if not, you won't understand some things in design. You just keep using on templates. So if you want to learn design to like as a skill that you can monetize, you have to know the actual basics. But so far this looks good. There's not much I can say because templates, but it's a good design so far. Good job. And the colors are really nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to move on to, today we want to talk about logo design. I don't want us to spend too much time compared to last time. So I'm going to go to my slide right now. I have a very short slide for us so we can learn a little bit about logo design and then work on one today. So we can all do that practical together. So basically, we all know what logos are, right? And last week, I mentioned that logos are vectors. So basically, when you're designing logos, you want to make sure that the logo is readable at a big scale and at a small scale. We're going to go into that. But first of all, let's learn the main three rules or basics for logo design. So number one is your logo must be appropriate and relevant for the business. So let's say we are designing a logo for a restaurant, right? You don't want to put a picture or a graphic of a flower on a logo for a restaurant. Then that logo is not appropriate. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If you understand, type yes or unmute yourself so I can know we are following. Okay, so you don't want to. The logo has to be appropriate. Say you're designing a logo for a church. Okay, good. Design a logo for a church. Most churches always have like a dove in their logo because a dove signifies, I think, peace or cleanliness, something like that. So in that case, a dove is appropriate for the particular business. And also, when you're designing logos, your colors have to be appropriate. I'm going to get to your question, sir. Your colors have to be appropriate. When you're designing logo for a restaurant, for example, again, there are some colors that just makes you feel hungry. I don't know if you've heard of that before. Like the McDonald's logo, the color yellow, it tricks your mind to make you feel, oh, I need to eat something. So there's something called color psychology when you're designing, especially logos. You have to do your research to like, okay, this is this business, or this, let's say for a church, blue is usually used a lot for churches, or red, because red signifies like fire, like Holy Ghost fire, something like that. while blue feels like Holy Spirits, like water, like chill and calm, you understand? So when you're designing logos, all those things have to come into mind. So that's why people that design logos charge a lot of money, because once you design a logo, this business has that logo for years and years and years. And that logo can work for them to psychologically convince their people, whoever they're trying to attract, to buy from them. Does anybody understand what I'm trying to say? Right. Okay, so number 2, you want to avoid a logo that has too much detail. Like we said again in our last class, simple is always better. But when it comes to logo, it's even more important, because most people use their logos on very small things, like on a business card. Say if you design a logo and the logo has too many, like it's a flower, for example, for a flower shop, and the logo has too many lines. By the time you make that logo smaller, the lines will probably disappear or affect the logo because it's too small. Does anybody understand what I'm trying to say? So your logo designs must be scalable. They must be readable at a big size and readable at a small size. So I'm going to rush through this so that we can design the logo today. And number 3, the logo has to work well in all black and in all white. And the reason for this is that sometimes people, when some companies like have like a carton or a box. I don't know if you've seen, like there are some boxes that some companies like these brown boxes, right? These brown boxes that some companies ship out their things with. So let's say your particular logo has 5 or 6 different colors. And when when they want to print it on the box, all the colors, we can't see it again. And because of that, the logo is not readable. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So it's best for your logo to be able to work in all black and in all whites, and then colors when needed. So your logo basically must not depend on just colors for interpretation. If you don't understand, please feel free to send a message to the chat and I will explain better. But I'm trying to rush up so that we can actually design a logo today. And also, remember I mentioned that sometimes some logos have hidden meanings, like colors. The colors on a logo can have a psychological meaning. So these are some examples of some logos that have some hidden meanings. For example, FedEx logo. I know we are all very familiar with FedEx logo. But if you look closely at the FedEx logo, you can see a little arrow in between the E and the X. Can everybody see it? In between the E and the X.
Yes.
Yes. So you can see that according to FedEx, the hidden arrow represents speed and precision. So as a normal person, most likely you won't notice the arrow. But as a designer, the more you design logos, the more you can see hidden meanings in logos. Here's another example. Amazon. From the A to the Z, you can see there's this mark under Amazon. Like we all know the Amazon logo. You can see it looks like a smile. The more you look at it, it looks like a smile. So basically, Amazon is trying to say they are delivering happiness. Now you can see why a logo is very important for a business, right? According to Amazon, from A to Z, Amazon has a smile. You can see that smile. The more you see logos, the more you can explain and understand the interpretation. This is another one. You never noticed that. But now that you've learned this, you will notice it more. This is Hyundai's logo. We all know what Hyundai's logo is. But the interpretation of this logo is a handshake. And a handshake represents customers' trust and satisfaction. Right? So the more you know these things, the better you can design logos that would convert, basically. Finally, this is the NBC logo. I don't know if anybody has ever noticed this, but the NBC logo is a peacock. If you look at it closely, it's a peacock that has multiple colors in the tail, the feathers. Now, the peacock in the NBC logo stands for color and pride. Has anybody ever noticed the NBC logo look like a peacock before? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes? Yes? Okay. And another one I wanted to say was the IOP logo. I wanted to put it up here, but for some reason I forgot. So I'm going to search for that now. The IOP logo. If you look at this closely, the IOP logo, this is the picture of a face. You can see there is an eye, there is an eye, there is a nose, and there is a mouth. Has anybody ever seen that before?
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, logos, company logos always have hidden meanings. If you check by yourself later, you can, like, if you can Google later logos and hidden meanings, you see so many. Like Wendy's logos, they have hidden meanings. So many logos, they do have hidden meanings. So moving on, different logo styles. There are three main logo styles that is like the common style that people design in. One is the wordmark logo. Basically, a wordmark is just letters. Like the Coca-Cola logo, Sony, PayPal, you can see that it's just letters and it's a logo. So basically, somebody just typed this out with a particular text or font, and imagine how much they paid the person that designed the PayPal logo or the Sony logo. They paid them thousands and thousands of dollars, you know? And number two is an icon logo. Now, this one is basically like a symbol. It's just a symbol. And number three is the combination. So combination of both wordmark and an icon. So those are like the three main logo styles. Does anybody have any questions before we move on to actually designing? Does anybody have any questions? No, okay. So now can we go to our Canva where we designed our flyer yesterday? Today we're going to design a logo for a real estate agent, and we're going to do it together. So I'd like for everybody to unmute themselves if you want to participate, or chat in the box so that we can all do this and have a participatory class. So can we go to our Canva now? Is everybody on Canva yet? Is everybody on Canva yet? Please answer me.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
working on it.
So please go to canva.com. This is a logo I quickly designed this morning, or actually last night, in preparation for this class. So we're going to redo this logo today from scratch using Canva. I'm going to close this out. Is everybody on Canva now? Have you opened your graphic? Have you opened your file? You have a blank page. Do we all have blank pages so we can start?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, are we actually excited about this class today? It's pretty dope this morning.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So today we are going to design a logo for a real estate agent. And like I said, yeah, I've already designed this. So we are going to redesign this one today. Are we ready? Yes. Okay. So we're going to start with an element. Remember, we said an element is squares or circles and things like that, lines in the design. So we're going to start with that now. Give me a second. Okay.
Sorry, one quick question. How do you change you rotate from horizontal to?
Okay, are you asking a question?
Yes, I want to change my page. How do I make it horizontal?
How do you make a page horizontal? Okay, so can you go back to home? You just have to select the size. With Canva, you have to select the particular size. You can't adjust the sizing. So you have to go back to home and create a new design. Here, can you see my screen? Create a design. Then you have to select the size of the particular design you want. In this case, I'm using the size of a Facebook post. So you have to start with the original size. When you're using Photoshop and things like that, there are ways you can adjust the sizing to make it horizontal and vertical. But for now, Canva doesn't allow us to do that. And to resize, you have to pay for their monthly plan. But for today, let's use the Facebook posts size so that we have the square.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my design. Okay. So we are here now. We have a blank page. We have a blank page. We're going to start with a circle. If I'm too fast, please let me know. We're going to start with a circle. Right? And as a good designer, when you're designing, you want to make sure that you're designing in black and white first, before you add any colors. Because the design has to be interpretable, or you have to be able to interpret what it is in black and white or colors. So we're starting with a circle. Yes, somebody asking a question.
Yes, I'm lost. Like, I'm on Canva, but like, how am I supposed to like get to the page where you're at, where you have all those templates?
So you're on Canva right now, like this. You have to create a design from the top right side.
She signed up for
Canva is different from this.
Did she join late? Okay.
Okay, so I see create. Okay, I see.
And
okay, I see it.
Facebook post dimensions. Okay, moving on. So we are starting with a circle, right? We're trying to make a house like this with windows for a real estate agent's logo. So let's start with a circle, okay? And then we're going to go in and add a square to our design. Do you have your square now? Yes, okay. So we're going to make that square white. Is everybody here? We're going to go in and make our square white.
Sorry, question. Are we doing a flyer again?
No, we're designing a logo. This is what we're designing.
Bruh. How?
Okay, so we're going to go in and add our square to our circle now. We're going to go in and add a triangle to that. We're also going to make that triangle white. We're going to make it smaller. And that's going to be the roof of our house. Is everybody here? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back and redo it again. Don't worry. How did I change the color of the circle? You click on the circle, right? Then this is where you change the color for your elements up here. And you can choose whatever colors you want, but for now we are going to use white, black. So we have our house now. We have the roof and the what do we call this now? The wall of the house. Can I move on? Has everybody done this? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we're gonna go in and make our windows. So we're gonna go back into our squares. Now we're gonna make this small, pretty small, because we need to have 4 windows. But depending on your house, you can have 2 windows. We're gonna make this small because I want us to have 4 windows. I'm gonna change this to black to black. Has everybody done this? So we can move on to our next window.
Yes.
Okay. So now we have our first window. And to make our other windows, we can go ahead and keep adding squares. But to make it easier for us so that we don't have to keep making squares from scratch, you click on this window that we have here, right? And we are going to duplicate this window. We are going to duplicate this particular window so that we don't have to keep going back and forth making windows, right? So, so we are going to select duplicate from up here. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I'm lost at the house.
At the house?
Mm-hmm. So on the bottom of the square that linked to the circle at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
How did we? Okay, is it? It has to come. It has to come out a little longer than the
Yeah.
circle.
So this is the square.
Okay.
The reason why we had this in white so it will look transparent.
Okay.
So feel free to, and you don't want your square to be too short. If not, it will look like this.
Mm-hmm.
So make the square long enough to come out of the circle. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and duplicate our windows. So we have one here. Now we're going to come to the top right side of the screen and hit duplicate. Can everybody see this? So we're going to duplicate that particular window. And we're going to do it 3 times. So we have 4 windows. Do you want me to do that again? Did everybody get that?
Yes.
Okay. So now we are just going to go put our windows where we want them to be.
Okay. I'm having trouble on my square for the house.
Okay.
It's showing a picture on the lines of the square. It's not transparent.
No, say that again. Which picture?
The square on the house,
Yes.
it's having a line color on the square.
Your square.
It's not completely white.
So like the wall of the house?
The wrong square.
They probably chose the wrong square. That means a square as a border. Yeah. So
It has an outline color.
Okay, so yeah, you did. Like Pastor said, I think you chose the wrong square.
Oh.
Go back and see the square there.
So now we have our 4 windows. Now feel free to choose another square for that and change the color. You shouldn't have a border. So we have our 4 windows now. Does everybody have their 4 windows?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So it's at this point that we can now go in to add our colors for our house. So I'm going to use, feel free to use any colors, but I'm going to use the color I used up here. So I'm going to switch this to, let's see what color I have there. To this. Now you can use any color you want for your window. It doesn't have to be exactly what I had here. So I'm just using the colors I want. Now we have our house with multicolored windows. Which square did I use for the window? You use a normal, select a normal square from here and just make it smaller. Select a regular square and just adjust the size to it. It's very small. Then once you have that first size for the window, you just keep duplicating it into 3 places so that we have 4 windows.
Hello?
Yes. So does everybody have their house with multiple colors yet?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay. So what do you want me to go back and yes? So where are you lost at?
Ma?
Okay, so moving on. We have our house now. Once you have your house like this, we want to make it smaller so that we can use it for our logo like this, right? So what you're going to do is that you're going to select the entire house. Did everybody see that? as if you want to use your cursor to draw a square across the entire graphic.
Ma, how do you get to that place?
Which place? Which place? Where are you lost? Okay, feel free to say it in the chat, and I will read your answer and answer your question.
How
Say
did
it
you
in the
get
chat
Windows?
where you're lost.
Can you quickly show how to duplicate?
Okay, yes. So this is, you have your first window. The duplicate button is up here, where we have on and delete things like this. So this is the duplicate button.
I got it.
Yeah, where did you get the Windows?
All right.
Okay, so let's start this from scratch. I'm going to keep this here and make another house so that those that are lost can start again. So we start with the circle, right? And like we said, as good designers, all our logo must start with black and white. So I'm starting again, so please watch. I'm starting the house from beginning again. So we have our circle to start with. I'm going to group this real quick. Okay, we have our circle to start with. Then we're going to add a square to our circle. And we're going to make that square white. So this square will be the wall of our house. I'm going to make my square a little thinner. So this square will be the wall of our house. Then we are going to add the roof of the house now. That is a triangle. And we're going to make that triangle white again. We'll make it smaller. And we add our triangle to the top of the house. Okay, now that we have the wall of the house set, the next thing is to make our windows. Again, to make the windows, we're going to use another square. We'll make it small as we need our windows to be. Let's make that black. We make it as small as we need our windows to be. So in this case, let's make a house with just 2 windows. So we have our first window. We are going to duplicate this particular window so that we can have it twice. Is everybody following? Is everybody getting this now?
Yes.
Yes.
So we are going to duplicate that window. Now we have another house with 2 windows. You say, how do we have multiple colors in the house? So what we did is that we chose different colors for the windows. So in this house, we have 2 windows now. So now we want to add colors to our logo, right? So we will select our first circle, the big one. I'm going to give it this color. Well, let's use this one. Now, to choose the color for our windows, you select the square again. You come up here to where it says colors. And then we are going to change the color. I'm going to use blue. So that's how we have multiple colors in the house. Now we select the other color, the other window. And I'm going to use this color. So now we have a house with 2 windows. Did everybody get that?
Yes.
Did
Sorry,
everybody get that?
I didn't see the duplicates button.
Okay, so click on your window. Click on your window. Duplicate is at the top right side of the screen. You see position, you see something that looks like a painting.
Okay.
Tool. Yes. So this is the duplicate here. Have you seen that? Have you seen that, ma?
I clicked on the position.
No. We are not clicking on position. We are clicking on this button. This it looks like 2 rectangles with a plus inside of it.
I think my computer is not showing that.
It's to show that. I think Canva has it across everything. So just click on the elements. Click on the window. It is beside the trash bin on the top right side of the screen. Right under the share save button. Some people say I think they can't see it too.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, what happened?
She needs to click on she needs to click on like a window first, and then it will pop up.
Yeah, maybe their screen is shorter, so they can see a more button, like a drop button like that.
I think the problem is that I had the same problem, but until you click on that image,
you have to click on
it will not come up.
Okay, yeah, that's another thing.
I think
So
what
you
the
have to
computer is
click
bringing
on
out
the
is
window.
different from other. That's why mine is sitting like that also. But I get it now.
Okay, ma. So let's know when you're able to find the duplicate button.
Don't worry, go ahead. I'll figure it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we have our house now. I've seen. Okay, good. We have our house now. So what we are going to do now is we are going to select the entire house, right? So you're going to hold your mouse, you left click and drag a circle, a square across everything. Did everybody get that? You drag a square, you select down and drag a square across everything so that we can select everything together. Did everybody get that?
Yes.
Okay. So once you left click, just the normal way you click on something, then you drag a square across everything.
Can you give us a second to figure the whole thing, like maybe 1 minute?
Okay, where are you at, ma?
I'm actually, I want to give my windows color.
Okay, you just select on each window and choose the color from where we change color.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, so we're moving on. So to select, like I said, drag a square across your graphic. Then once you do that, Canva will automatically change the things that are up here. So now we can see we have a group button here. Can everybody see a group button?
Yes.
Yes. So we are now going to group the entire graphic together. So it becomes one. So now everything is all together.
My computer is something else.
I don't see that.
Do you see the group button?
Oh.
So where are we? Where are we now?
Yes, I've grouped it.
You've grouped?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to again draw a square across your entire graphic and select group. So now this becomes one graphic on its own. Not multiple of squares or anything, but that is just one. So then we can adjust the size and use it any way we want to use it. And remember that we said that when you're designing the logo, you want your graphic to work at a big scale and at a small scale. So I'm going to show an example now. Imagine if we had, let's see. Imagine if we had a logo with lines like this. Imagine if we had a logo with lines like this, right? It looks good as big as it is now. But once we make it small, you can see that all the lines, you can't see those lines anymore. The logo is not scalable. But once we make it big again, we can see the lines. So when you're designing, you want a logo, most especially, you want to make sure that you use things that once you scale it down, and once you make it big, we can see it very well. Right? So I'm going to delete that now. So now we have our house. Can we move on to the other part of the logo now?
Yeah.
I'm going to use this house with 4 windows because I like that one instead of the one with 2 windows. Okay. Can we move on now to the other parts of the logo? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the logo we are trying to recreate.
How do you select the whole picture?
You said you have a question.
Yeah. How do you select the whole?
So if you're using the mouse, just the way you click on it, right? So you're going to press down, you left click and press down, hold it. Then draw a square across your entire graphic. Then it will select everything.
Okay.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Then you can now group it. Once you selected, you've drawn the square across it. Okay, so can we move on to the other parts now?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So now our logo has remember we said we have 3 different types of logos, right? We have the word mark, we have the icon, and we have combination. So now this is an icon. So now we want to make the word on the logo, right? So we are going to go in and add a text. Do we remember how to add text to our graphic? We remember, right? This is where we had the text. So we're going to click on that. And we're going to add an heading. So now let's say the name of our real estate agencies. I already used one up there before. Michael Jones. Is everybody here? Have you added your text?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So now feel free to use any name you want. You can use your name, but my own name is too long, so it will remove the balance of my logo. So I'm just going to use this short name, Michael Jones, right? Now this logo, this font is pretty good, but you can feel free to change up your font. Remember we taught ourselves how to change font last time. Now use any font you want. Select the font and use any font you want. So I'm going to use this font. Does anybody have any questions?
Vamos, Maldives, Vitória.
Okay. So have you added your text? Have you added your word mark in your logo?
Yes.
Has everybody done that?
Yes.
Okay. So now when you're designing again, like we said, the main rules of graphic design, they still work for logo design. You want to make sure that it's balanced. So you don't want your name to be here and then your text is like this and then everything doesn't look balanced. You can see this doesn't look centered, right? So we have to make sure that both the icon and the text are both centered. I'm going to move this up here. So we need to make sure that both the text and the icon are centered.
So which font did you select?
You said? Is that a question?
Yes. Which font did you select?
Which font did I use?
Yes.
So I used the Allegria font. I'm not sure how to say that, but this is it here. You can just type for the particular one you want. So you can just type Allegria up here, and it should bring up this font.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So because this is a real estate agent, right? We want to use fonts that look professional. So depending on the business, let's say it's a beauty brand. Most beauty brands use, I'm going to show you a quick example. Most beauty brands tend to use fonts that look like this. Okay, that font is not. Let me see, scripts. I don't know if you've noticed, but there are some beauty brands that have logos that the fonts is script font or cursive fonts like this. I don't know if you've noticed. Have you noticed that? Let's say they're a fashion brand or they're beauty, makeup, something like that. They use fonts. So when we say, remember we said that the logo has to be appropriate for the business, right? So you want to use a font that is appropriate for the business. So when you're designing logos, you want to check the trends. You want to see what other people in the industry are using. You don't want to follow the trend. You don't want to be too exactly like another person, but you want to make sure that it looks appropriate for the business. So because we are real estate agents now, our font should look professional. Or maybe it's a banker. A banker most likely will not use a logo that looks like this, because this logo type, it has a different feeling. Or this font has a different feeling. So there's another part of logo design that is called font psychology. Again, the more you design, the more you will know these things. But for the basics, you want to use fonts that are appropriate for the business. So because we are designing for a real estate agent now, our font has to look professional, has to look more polished, that's the word. It has to look more polished compared to when you're designing for a beauty brand. Okay. So has everybody put their business name under their logo, under their house? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So now we're going to add our title. So first of all, when somebody looks at this logo, because we already have a logo ready, our logo is ready. So now they might think that this business is the construction company, right? It might be a construction company. It might be a daycare company because the colors are pretty. They look like colors that children will be attracted to. Yes, Shaitan, that's a very good question. So when you use capital letters for a logo, right, it makes it look formal. But when you use small letters for a logo, it makes it feel informal. I'm going to show you this now. Michael Jones. Now this font looks good for this logo, but because it's small letter font, it makes it feel like the business is more relatable. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So big letters always look more professional, but small letters always look more informal and more chill compared to big letters. That's font psychology. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
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 Yes. So because it's a real estate agent, again, because we are professional, we want to use big letters. So depending on the business, you can use small letters. So like I was saying before,
how about fonts?
So what do you
say? How about
now?
using fonts? Is it the same thing when you use like fonts, like other fonts?
Yeah, you can use any other fonts. You can.
Will it make any difference?
So there is no way I can teach this in one day, honestly, especially when it comes to fonts, because fonts play like a big deal when it comes to logo. In like psychologically, fonts play a big deal. In some cases, some fonts will look expensive looking, and in some cases, some fonts will look more inexpensive, like more cheap. I'm going to quickly pull up an example of this brand, Gucci logo. Now, we all know that Gucci is an expensive brand, right? Right. I'm going to show you something real quick. If you look at this, we're looking at the fonts. Can everybody see the logo on my screen?
Yes.
Because of the fonts on the Gucci logo, some of the parts of the fonts are thin. Some of the parts of the fonts are sharp. Can we see that?
Yes.
So because of that, it gives up the feeling that it's delicate, right? So when you see thin fonts on a logo, always feel more luxurious. They always feel more delicate. They always feel more high-end. But when you see the thicker fonts, they always feel more professional, like more established. Then when you see the script font, the cursive fonts, they always feel more chill, like more informal, more of like the beauty, like I said before, beauty and lifestyle, makeup, things like that. So after this class, if you're really interested in logo design, you can feel free to Google font psychology so that you can teach yourself more of fonts and what they mean. Okay, so I don't want us to spend too much time now. So we are going to go ahead and add our title under our logo. So let's add a subheading. Did everybody see that? We are going to add another font, and we are going to add a subheading. We're going to make it smaller though, but for now, let's use it. So I'm going to go ahead and type. Let me see what I had here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and type real estate agents. So I'm going to make it smaller. See. Has everybody done this? Has everybody added the title under the logo?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
So now, as it is, we can leave this as it is now. The logo looks complete, or we can change the color if we want here. For now, I'm going to leave it as black because I feel like that looks better. Let me see if I can make the font smaller. Okay. So now we have our logo ready. Has everybody added their title under their logo?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so now we have our logo ready. Michael Jones, real estate agent. And now we have designed a logo. Has everybody finished with their logo designs? Or do I need to go back?
I'm done.
Do I need to go back? Finished? Okay, good.
I'm good so far, thank you.
Finished. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we have designed our first logo, and for some of us, it might be our first logo ever. So I'm pretty sure everybody's logo looks different and looks good. Okay, good, done. Yes. So moving back to what we said before, we said that this is our icon and this is our word mark. Now this logo style is a combination logo. So in an event that this real estate agent wants to design a business card, right? And it doesn't have space to put the entire logo, you can just use a section of, you can just use this one. I'm going to duplicate this real quick. You can just use this on his logo, right? On his business card as his icon. So this is the full logo. Now this is an icon. I'm going to do a quick business card kind of thing here. I know we have already used up our time, but we don't have to do this, but I just want to show us. Michael Jones. Okay, so let's say that this is Michael Jones' business card, right? In this case, there is no space for us to use the entire logo on this business card. So because we have a small icon to identify his business, he can easily use this icon as his logo, as his identification, basically. So the main use of a logo is to identify a business. The main use of the logo is to identify a business. So once a part of the logo identifies the business, we've designed a good logo. Does anybody have questions?
I see you putting some numbers.
No, what I'm just trying to say is, we don't have to do this right now. But what I'm trying to say is, this icon this is the main logo. So in a logo, there's like main logo, there's alternate logo, there is word mark or brand marks. Going back to the Gucci logo, yes, you can add phrases. Going back to the Gucci logo, this is Gucci's logo. This circle thing is their icon. So once you see that icon, you know it's Gucci, right? So here, this is our own icon too. Once you see this icon, we want the people to know that it is Michael Jones, right? So that is our icon. So this is our full logo. So let's say we are designing a business card for Mr. Michael Jones, and you don't have space to put the full logo, you can put an icon, and that is Michael Jones's icon, and that's that. So now we have designed a full logo. We have designed a brand already from scratch. Because logo design is the same thing with branding, but we're not going to go into that today.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions? Because we've reached the end of our graphic design basics, the class. We've reached the end. Does anybody have any questions before we start rounding up? No? Okay. So because we're not having another graphic design class, we won't be able to review everybody's logo, but you can save your logo and send it to the email, and I will try to respond to and I will not try, I will respond to everybody's logo and give you some feedback on what you can do differently. Is that fine with everybody?
What email?
The email is in the group. It's in the group chat. Are you in the group? Is Shaitan here? Can you send that email to the chat again? You can send it to the email so I will review everybody's own and give feedback. And if you are interested in website design, we're going to be learning website design in our class on Friday. We're going to have another 2 website design classes from Friday and next Monday. Okay, so we have reached the end of our logo. Please send it to the email because here I can't really see it. Please send your graphic to the email. And we also have to end now because we have another class right after. Okay, so thank you so much to everybody for joining this class. We have a lot of people here today. And I really hope you've learned something. We have shared the PowerPoints from the former class, the slides, so that you can review those ones. And we'll share the slides from this class too, so that you can review them and practice. So after this class, please keep on practicing because the more you practice, the better you get to the design. It's not a one-day thing. It's not a two-day thing. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
please, I don't start quickly with people. How do we get to the place that we start doing all these drawings?
Okay, so we are going to send the recorded call to everybody so that you can watch it and take it step by step and learn it. Okay.
I don't understand what you said.
We are going to send the recorded video to you so that you can watch it and start and learn it step by step again.
Okay, ma.
Okay. Yes. Like I was saying, it's not a one-day thing. It's not a one-year thing. Sometimes people design for years before they get very good. But the more you do it, the better you get. And I really hope everybody learned something from this class. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm going to hand over to Pastor. I don't know if Pastor is still on the call.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Hope you had a great time in that class. If you enjoyed that class, come on, you can say something. Let's appreciate Aderonke for the sacrifice.